presented by Nissan, Ford and Toyota.
Malaysia's about.
Road is proudly presented by Nissan, Ford and Toyota.
The lineup is Mark Cronier and Chris Birkin in the Class D bakkie, Gavin Cronier and Robin Hout in Class D. Those are the official Castrol Works teams. Then we have Paolo Piazzamusso and Oki Fourie running a Castrol Works, semi-works bakkie. We have Zane Pierce from Durban in the Durban bakkie. And then we hopefully have all the privateers back like Hugo and Father Jaap, Chris Fisher and all the other Storm's Hilux supporters.
I think having my brother in the team is going to be a great opportunity for us. He's very, very good in terms of the technical aspect. I think the combination between the two of us, setting the vehicles up, Class D itself, I think we can further the vehicles just in the first couple of races, and then going on to SP, I think we're really going to be able to develop the vehicles very quickly. I think we've got a lot to learn in terms of the SP class, but I think we're both capable of performance-wise, and I think it's going to be a good year.
I think for me, going from circuit racing into off-road was a daunting task, and I think going from E to D will be a natural progression, but I think from D to SP, it's going to be a big jump with the new bakkies, with the new class, and it's going to be a big learning curve. Fortunately, myself and my brother are heading up the Toyota team, so the communication is good, so we should speed up the learning curve for the two of us, and hopefully start heading up SP soon after the class has actually started.
I've had a change in navigator this year. Rod has got a commitment with Philip Kakan and Rallying. So I was lucky enough to secure the services of Oki Fourie. We've got to do some gelling this year, but he's a very experienced man, so I'm confident that we'll form a good team. Class D, I think we've got to measure the guys. Obviously the objective this year is, once Gavin and Mark leave the class, is to carry the flag for Toyota, try and win this championship for them. So that's the aim of the game.
We did it at half speed and just rolled end over end. Well, they're going to try and get you. Yeah.
We've got quite an exciting year ahead of us. Our team for this year is the same team as which we had last year. We've got Bapi and Kulili in the Class E diesel Ranger, and we built them a totally new car, so we're quite excited about that. And then we'll have Manfred and his navigator will be in the Class D car for the initial part of the year, and then moving over to super production as soon as that's ready. And then the old-timers of the team, Kenny and myself, we're in the Class T again for the first part of the year, and then move into super production later on in the year.
Class D car will be very similar to last year's car. The plan is to run that car for the first couple of races, and then as soon as the Super D will be ready, we'll be moving over to Super D for the rest of the season. Last year, Class D, this was the first year we ran that car, so we battled a bit with quite a few teething problems, and everything was new for us. And it seemed, to the latter part of the season, we seem to have sorted most of the problems out. Yeah, super production, I think, is going to be a very exciting class to be in, as spectators and for the public as well, because I think the domination of one manufacturer is going to come to an end, and there's going to be 3 manufacturers, each with 2 cars in the class, and any one of those 6 guys could easily win overall.
You can call it consistent, but we had a few mishaps here and there.
And for this year now, we have to adopt a new strategy. We need to have a step at the championship now. So what we've done is we've looked at all the weak points from last year, we've bolstered that, and we've tried to lose a little bit of weight on the car. Hopefully I can lose a little bit of weight as well. And we're hoping we'll be able to compete on the pace. I think our main strong point for last year was the consistency, as you say, and we had a good record of finishing, besides the 2 events that we didn't finish. By the time we got halfway with the season, I think we got on par with the vehicle. At the beginning, we couldn't maybe explore all the potential of the vehicle, but halfway through the season, I actually felt that we are getting on now with the vehicle, the handling and the power and the use of torque. And so once we got through those aspects, we started putting good times in. And with those good times, we were able to get to the end of the season. And the last event, we finished second, which was a good thing for us. With Khulile, I've had a very good relationship. I've learned to understand him, he's learned to understand me. And I feel that if carrying on with Khulile will be a very good plus, because we don't have to start learning from scratch again. He's learned a lot, I've learned a lot, and we've been like twins since the beginning of our racing career.
Well, for the first time in some years, we've got a change in the driver lineup. Janiel and Hannes have been synonymous with Nissan's teams for really the past 10 years in one form or another. But this year we see a big change. Janiel is off to expand his career in the world of motorsport, and he'll be representing Nissan worldwide for all the European events in Rally Raid and the World Championship events. So a fantastic opportunity for Janiel, but of course that leaves an opening in the Off-Road Championship. And we've chosen Alfie to fill Janiel's shoes. He's done a brilliant job over the last 2 years, and winning the championship last year was just what we needed to move him up a class. So Alfie and Ralph Pitchford will be taking the one car, and the second change will be Hannes will be taking on Francois. Richard's decided to retire from the sport for the time being, and Francois will be moving in alongside Hannes. They did a rally at the end of last year to get acquainted with one another, and I think that should be a formidable team into the future. On the privateer front, we expect a strong showing from many teams with Nissan hard bodies in Class D and Class E, and as ever, Nissan will be supporting these teams in one form or another in our quest to win the Manufacturers' Championship.
Yes, I must say I'm looking forward to something new that we're going to use on the off-road. It's something that we don't know how it's going to handle, how fast it will be able to go over the rough. But I'm sure with the technology and the Glyn's team there and what all the other manufacturers are going to do, we'll be able to make the car work. And I'm sure maybe it's a good vehicle for the future also to use on the Dakar. So I'm really looking forward to the mid-year to try the new vehicle.
Talk about challenges, especially coming from the Dakar, and I drove the Class D, and I always used to say sometimes to Ralph, we need more power, but sure, Nissan have thrown something at me now, the new Super, the Super D or Super T, whatever you call it, and it's the ex-Janiel de Villiers vehicle, so it's going to be a hell of a challenge for me. I mean, to have that much horsepower. The thing that's worrying me a little bit is the left-hand drive. It's going to take a little bit getting used to. Customers like Hannes and Neil Woolridge, they're old-time experienced drivers, and I know it's going to be a difficult task. It's not just going to happen overnight, but Nissan want to make this thing happen for me, and sure, Glyn and him stand by me all the way. I will be testing next week. I haven't driven it yet, so I can't give any comments, but I did drive it 2 years ago, and yeah, sure, it was a bit different. But to beat Hannes and Neil and them first time out is going to be a difficult one. But I'm going to give it my best shot, and sure, it's exciting, and I'm a little bit nervous, to be quite honest.
Extreme Off-Road is proudly presented